Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back here to the HPL Week 6 Day 1 NA Game Series number 3, Game 1, D-Day, and Forecourt, and so many other things to add to that intro line. It's getting longer and longer the longer we cast, actually.
Just wait till season 10. I don't know. It's
Season
a
10,
ways
Game
off.
10, game number 52. God, could you imagine season 10? Like
It's
10
gonna
years
get.
from now?
Oh man.
Well, maybe not 10 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
I think we're having, what, 2 seasons a year or so?
So far it's been like 4 months, 5 months, right?
This league is in alpha, gents, ladies and
Yeah.
gents.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
All right, so we're setting up here for Glorious Gaming and ESV Tempest, and game number 1, we're still trying to figure it out. Still trying.
Well, they're still in the process of making the game, so. But we see Glorious. It's a pretty good team.
Well,
They
they're
haven't seen them
number
lose very
2
much.
in the league. They're number 2.
Did you get that ranking for the finals yet?
No, but we have a comparison graphic up. So
Okay.
cool. It's number 2 up against number 11. ESV Tempest, of the 2 ESV teams owned out by Diamond, who did, of course, make the ESV League, which is hopefully coming back at some point. We're rooting for you, bro. ESV Wildfire has, I think, hands down surpassed Tempest in terms of, their performances, their outputs. Tempest right now is in a little bit of a rough spot because they don't have a win here in HPL.
Yeah, which is something we said because Wildfire is so good. Sorry, one moment.
Wildfire is I guess again it is far more, I think, experienced at this point because they are, I think, number 4 now in the league because of that win. That should actually, I think, put them in number 4. I don't know if that puts them into playoffs yet, but Glorious Gaming, I believe, is actually solidified into the playoffs. They have their invites basically secured with Symbiote, who's number 1 right now in the league. And, Glorious, if you don't know about Glorious is Team ZP.
Yes, they are. They're actually making the game right now. I'm going to get us in there 1 second.
Yeah, I've been covering for you like a bro. Yeah. Either way, though, I mean, Glorious, ZPs, if you've been watching any of the Blizzard Brawl with the Blues, which I actually unfortunately missed this week with all the team captains of all the teams that are going to BlizzCon. ZPs and crew, they were definitely there in the first one. He's a big streamer, does a lot of things here for Heroes, and gets a lot of views, actually, quite a bit. In fact, he might now be a full-time streamer, or maybe he was a full-time streamer. Either way, he is a name in Heroes. He's one of our homegrown celebrities. If you ever see him in solo queue, he does a lot of viewer games. You can subscribe to him. I see a lot of people in the chat there with his subscription emoticons, that Frostmourne and Get Wrecked and all that stuff. So we're actually going to jump into a game. Yeah, I like games.
Yeah, getting us in here, so.
Yay, games. Bringing you back. There you go. So this will be game number 1 of Tempest up against Glorious, and I'll put in the draft link. So we're ready to go on that front. So, and what map is it going to be, sir?
It's going to be Cursed Hollow for the first game. Which, I mean, the maps that we've seen play on, the teams we see play on this map, especially with, it seems like the skill difference between Glorious and Tempest. I mean, we might see, one of those 10-minute games, depending on if Tempest has changed the way they play. But typically we've been seeing really, really rough wins on one side. So it's just been, completely throws a team. I lost my train of thought there. I'm sorry.
Well, I said this earlier, right? We've seen games won in under 10 minutes on Cursed Hollow. If you get an early advantage, it's not even about tributes. It's all about the map pressure, right? If you get the tribute comes up, you fight, somebody gets it, you do mercs, you fight, somebody gets the next tribute, and then you get mercs, and then you can literally push to win if you've won everything up to that. We've seen games here in HPL that do end in 10 minutes. It's pretty insane. If you can't do that, it's a little bit more drawn out. You're going to see a curse. You're going to see more contesting for a 10 to 20 minute game. And then even sometimes after that, we've had them drag on 20 minutes plus. But it's very, very easy to kind of hit any of those targets. It really depends on the draft, I think.
It does, and we'll see that here. I mean, we'll go into the draft. We'll most likely see a Tychus Tessar ban right off the bat, or an even Arthas. Then we'll just see them build Tyrael, typical stuff, Rhaegar, Uther, things like that. these maps, you really want to have a lot of control in small corridors, especially with Curse.
Yep.
You have a lot of body blocking potential. You can have Chen follow with her Rain of Vengeance, things like that.
Yeah, some really nice linear skills. Shock and Awe comes out huge on this one. It's a huge map, so the Falstead with the mobility, the bribe, the Shock and Awe. It's a really nice package actually for the Griffin. Are they actually ready to go for the drafts?
Let me see. Let me get this.
If they're not, that's fine. So, I've told our admins that we're ready to go whenever they are. But,
Yeah.
The body blocking comes out big because of a lot of places that the bigger character models can come into play. Stitches actually has a little bit of a place here because there's so many places that you can actually get off Stitches hooks. And we've seen that before as well. In fact, I believe when we did Cursed Hollow earlier today, we had a Stitches ban.
Yeah, we did. That was the first. Which game was that? It was the very first game. They did Stitches ban, and then they did Tassadar, I think, ban.
I could load up the draft if you want.
Yeah, well, the draft is actually on the way for Tempest and Glorious now.
Okay, so let's just do that instead.
Yeah.
Glorious and Tempest draft underway. Turn to ban. Wow, we even get in here before the first bans. But again, guys, Glorious number 2 in the league. Tempest unfortunately hasn't put a win up on the board, and Glorious just an overall very solid team. And Tempest is gonna have their work cut out for them.
Definitely. Glorious is one of those teams that you have to watch out for. You don't really see them too often, but they usually pull something out and just destroy you with it. So I mean, we see a Tassadar ban here from Tempest. I guess they are worried about that Archon. Also, that Vision on Cursed Hollow is pretty key on this map.
Just
but
with the Vision, yeah. For sure.
Yeah. I mean, we could see another Tychus ban because Odin is pretty strong on this map. We could also see an Uther. His AoE stun is just super strong, so we'll see what they choose here for this ban.
There's a lot that it could be. I mean, take out the Tychus for the King of the Assassins, the Stitches, the Uther. I mean, Castar's already out. I'd be very surprised to see a Rhaegar ban, actually. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be one of the Warriors. I really think it's going to be the Warriors.
Possibly Arthas or Tyrael. Tyrael I could see just because his dive is so good on this map. He doesn't even have to be within, like, on the other. He doesn't have to be right in front of someone to ult them, so it works out really well. So we could see a Tyrael ban. Uther's stuns are really strong in small quarters, like we said earlier. So looks like a Nova ban.
What? A Nova ban?
Which is interesting considering that Tassadar is also banned.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Didn't see that coming. I really expected to see one of the frontliners taken out. But, all right, c'est la vie. Okay. So we're not seeing Nova. I'd be very surprised to see a Zeratul, but we don't have really anything on the board at this point. If you have free reign like this, typically a first pick is going to be either an Arthas or a Tychus. There it is.
there's first pick Tychus. Going to probably see ZPs likes Arthas a lot. So we could probably see him on Arthas most likely. He is one of the stronger frontliners. I wouldn't be too surprised to see an Arthas Uther, just because they're both solid frontliners. I mean, the stuns galore, the snares from Arthas. I wouldn't be too surprised to see that. Oh, and then we see Arthas. Oh, Abathur.
Whoa.
Holy cow, that was a quick second pick.
Well, okay, I like Abathur, don't get me wrong. I think he's very strong on this map, especially when you can force tribute fights to draw on. He can, really do some good split pushing, some great soaking. He can promote catapults. It's fun. But having him picked this early, damn, Glorious really wanted that.
They might have something up their sleeves then, because you usually don't see the Abathur pick until the very last pick.
Yeah. So this is why they banned Nova.
Oh, definitely. I wouldn't be surprised to see Zeratul picked up from Tempest.
Right. As soon as I saw that ban in the pick, like, damn it, you really, really could go Zeratul now and just try to hunt him. But still, I mean, I think that's really going to be a little bit more of a low priority, or we're going to see Glorious pick it up themselves if it's not picked this round. But either way, the Tychus Rhaegar combo is very solid. We still need a frontliner. I would not. Looking at a Tyrael, a Chen, or a Nubarak, really.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised to see so many second pick Rhaegars. Like, that's actually a surprise to me, is how often he's being picked second pick.
Farsight, Healing Totem, because he gets them, a tier earlier. Bloodlust, overall, I mean, he's a solid pick when you can't get a Tassadar or an Uther. But at this point, yeah, I think maybe an Uther might have been a little bit more useful.
Even a false attack is locked down your DPS. I mean,
And
no,
there's the
they have false
Falstad.
stat.
They're
But
leaving their tanks to the end? Oh my goodness.
well, tanks aren't as important because you do have 6 open viabilities. Holy cow, they're picking quick.
Zeratul. Yeah, they picked it. They did. They denied it. Oh my god, I love this.
Yeah, like I'm just surprised at how quick they're picking. They're just like bam, bam, done. Like they aren't even giving us time to really talk about it. But Zeratul pick counters it makes it so Abathur is safe.
Yep.
Unless they get like a Tyrande on the other side, which I can't see.
That's the only other thing really to deal with it is a Tyrande Owl build for level 16 instance shots.
Mm-hmm. But they have Uther too. Arthas, Uther, Zeratul, Abathur. They're gonna outlevel so much. I mean, the only thing that Tempest can really do at this point is have Falset soak because Abathur is just gonna give them that like just constant experience bonus. I mean they're not gonna be able to leave lane without having a double soak Abathur soaking 2 lanes at once.
Yeah, and when I think of Abathurs, I've been playing a lot with Equinox actually in solo queue. He's a fantastic Abathur, but when it comes to kind of like the leagues right now, I always just think of Dunk Train Abathur, like the Skeletor stuff that he was able to pull off in the last few weeks. It's just phenomenal.
Yeah, Abathur is one of those heroes that's like people don't pick him nearly enough. Like you see like the top teams like Glorious, you have EG now, Liquid,
Yep.
and SMG. They're all picking Abathur at some point or another. So yeah, I think that Abathur is just underrepresented typically.
Well, a lot of that has to do with the fact that the league started before we had control over the maps, I think.
Yeah, definitely. But we see Tyrael pick up from Tempest here.
Yeah,
So
they needed their frontliner, and I suspect they're going to have another frontliner. Otherwise, you're kind of putting all your eggs in the Tyrael basket. We've seen triple assassins, but it just doesn't feel there because there's no Tassadar and the Uther's on the other side. So, yeah, going for another frontliner with the Diablo. We saw this last game with Wildfire actually had the Diablo with the Apocalypse build. I don't know what they're going to go with this round.
I honestly think that Diablo is really good on this map, in particular because of the small quarters, like we were saying earlier. Is like Shock and Awe on top of Diablo Apocalypse. Like they're all going to be lined up at some point. So you're going to hit someone.
So I'm thinking
one way or another.
A Vala last pick here. They need some kind of ranged DPS to go with this. You need somebody to clone.
Yeah, you really do. Like, it is Vala. Okay, so
long narrow corridors, right? The Reign of Vengeance has a lot of good spaces to use there. Same with the Shock and Awe. Same with that. Actually, the Apocalypse. If you gather up and you're not very close knit on some of those choke points, you're gonna have like your entire team hit by the Apocalypse just because it's so big on the ground.
Definitely. And another thing is like Apocalypse will hit Abathur too. So
true enough. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to delay him a little bit, but he'll just jump right back into the fight.
I really can't imagine they're going to time it out to perfection where like he's casting Ultimate Evolution, he gets hit by Apocalypse. I don't think that's going to happen.
I mean, eventually we might see something like that to the point where like people are just so good at queuing up a AoE, like a global stun that Abathur won't be able to ult at times.
All right, so we can give the go-ahead to these teams. They are ready to roll. ESV Tempest and Glorious Gaming here. Best of 3, and then even after that, we still have another best of 3, so lots more Heroes content coming your way. I do believe today is a 10-hour day spanning both continents, both NA and EU. And
it's a long day.
We did actually have that one Asian tournament, Champions of Maelstrom or Heroes of Maelstrom or something. But, I mean, I looked at the bracket. SMG just kind of steamrolled them. So, yeah, I think we're going to take a little bit more time for the Asia brackets to kind of update, have them hit their own meta. But either way, again, very solid stuff here from Glorious. They banned out the Nova, they took the Abathur, and then the Tempest didn't take a Zeratul. So that Abathur has like almost nothing to fear at this point. The only other thing, and I've done this, is having a Falstead fly in on like some kind of strange angle, get off the damage, and walk away.
Oh yeah, it's mean, man. Why do you gotta do that?
I have videos. I've done it. The early bird gets the worm, man.
Ruining Abathur's day. Come on, man.
Birds
Don't
greater than worms.
But yeah, guys, if you enjoy what you're watching, just throw us a follow. subscribe if you can. It helps out the HPL greatly. Helps out the competitive team that we have, and then helps keep us going. Throwing out more HPL Season 2 should be announced here relatively soon, according to what Pride put in the chat earlier. So, I mean, if you guys like watching Heroes and you like supporting all the teams and everything, throw us a subscribe or a like.
Yeah, HPL has been basically on the forefront here of everything in terms of, like, they started up the league right after ESV, but they put so much work into those drafting videos earlier on. Those were so sick. You know, big props to Pride there. We got the sub status and the different transcodes for different people with different internet speeds, and now of course we got this drafting tool. HPL has been like the place to go, and they're the only league running basically right now. I mean, Kings of the Storm weekly is weekly. It's not a league, so these teams, you know, they consistently clash up against the top here in HPL. And the initiative overall, really good stuff out of Pride. In fact, did you know that Pride is actually doing a podcast at BlizzCon next week?
Yes, and I will be there.
There you go, guys.
Hanging out, listening to Pride talk at the World of Podcast event. So you guys should all come and hang out at some point. We will be in the Heroes area quite a bit. I don't think I'll leave that area much. What about you, Sean?
Oh, I'll be there. Sorry, I was just the teams. Apparently, we're just calling a pause for a moment, so the teams aren't quite ready. But the draft isn't going anywhere. No, I'll be at BlizzCon. I'm going actually to almost like every big event there because I'll be representing Heroes Fire. Did you know I have business cards now?
Oh yeah, business cards now. You're official now.
Yeah.
Gotta get people to know who you are, man.
Well, this is actually something that I made for myself a little bit ago, and it's my forecourt jester badge. You can't really see it because of the reflection, but I'll be wearing that at BlizzCon. I'll have my Heroes Fire stuff, so I'll be handing out business cards and doing some like on-site reporting. But I think I'm going to the Pride thing. I should be there for that. Going to a few different other parties, and you know, going to be talking to a lot of the teams. Going to be seeing you guys there, getting all your autographs, so I can, you know, frame them and sell them in 10 years. All that fun stuff. BlizzCon's gonna be hype. Like, there's so many people going, and Heroes is a big part of it this year.
Yeah, and Heroes, I think, is one of those games that's gonna actually take it's gonna have huge crowds on those matches that are gonna be going on there. Like, I don't think people understand how big this game is going to get.
Well, we talked to Jesse Cox a little bit earlier, and he said, you know, I really didn't actually expect him to be so super serious about kicking Team Rocket here, but Rocket Jump has their work cut out for them. He is dead serious about winning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I can see them winning. Just they got to pick that Illidan, man. They got to pick Illidan.
If we see an Illidan, I would be really surprised. But
at some point, we will see an Illidan during that tournament, just because Trick is going to be casting it.
But is it going to be the show match or is it going to be the pros? Like, Illidan's a very high skill kind of champion.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll see the pro teams maybe.
Yeah,
pro teams will take it. Maybe Husky, like his pirate deck and the Hearthstone stuff last year. He might even do Illidan, so who knows?
But Husky got kicked out at like quarterfinals of the BlizzCon Invitational last year. I don't think he won a single game with that deck.
No.
I'm just trying to remember that. I do remember, though, like Jesse was talking about the Geek Is talk there from Chris Metzen. And I was like, I have no idea what we're talking about anymore. It's just like geek is. Like, you're just filling time. Unfortunate. All right, there we go. Players are ready.
Hallelujah. Let's go. Let's get into this, man.
I'm waiting for that countdown. But, you know, again, I fully expect to see a Hearthstone casting interface at BlizzCon. I really do expect that to show up. Legacy of the Void. Warcraft 4 would be amazing, but I'm not expecting it. Like, it's all about Heroes. I think they're going to have some big stuff here for Heroes. I really do.
Definitely, but like you said earlier, like we're all going to be there. Come and join us. We'll be in purple Nexus Champ shirts, so just come on by. But it looks like the game is starting now.
Thank goodness. All right, guys, we're going to jump into it here. Heroes of the Storm, Week 6, NA, Day 1. Glorious Gaming and Tempest hitting it off. And Cursed Hollow, right, yeah, we talked about this. That's why we saw a little bit more in terms of the Nova and the Tassadar bans. Of course, Nova for the Abathur, for the double soak. If you can force those tribute fights to prolong, the Abathur just looks better and better.
Definitely, like, and we'll see what we're right. Okay, we got ZPs and Glorious over here in the blue side. We have ZPs, of course, on Arthas, probably one of his most played warriors. We have Soma on Uther, Glaurung on his Zeratul, which is terrifying, Syracuse on Abathur, and Kothamluck on Vala. Then we have over here in the red, we are going to have ESV Tempest. We have Pelion on Felstad. We have Tychus as Nightmare. Toe Jammerl on Diablo, ESV Diamond on Tyrael, and
Diamond? What?
Diamond's in here, and Treble on Rhaegar.
Must be subbing for his team. Oh. Welcome, Diamond. I hope you're not listening. We did talk a little bit, but Diamond is, of course, the founder of the ESV League and owner of both of the teams. He's really trying to make it work here. So this is actually a first for me. I've not seen him in competitive, so we'll see how he does.
Oh, for sure.
I think I have all the things clicked and all the dials turned, and we're good to go. So top lane, ZP is actually going to be holding it down with Arthas.
You don't really see an Arthas top by himself. Hardly ever.
Well, I'm a little curious that Gloring actually didn't take that opportunity to do some damage, but maybe they're going to look for the jump here. That's going to be the stun in the, you see the Abathur help, and wow, that is actually going to be enough to take home Tychus.
Yeah, it's an early first blood, but that's typically what you see with a Zeratul and a Arthas. Like, you usually see early ganks with them.
Yeah, but he's usually not like camping out in the lane as hard as they were. Wow, that overpowers ZP. Gonna be real low. The shadow charge coming in. Toejam and Earl cannot take home the kill because, of course, the squid hat on top of him. But either way, Nightmare does come back. He forces out the team. And, a little bit of revenge, but not a kill. Just a little unfortunate. Snooze Fest there in the mid. Trouble and Soma just sitting looking at you.
It is Uther and it is Rhaegar. Who will strike first?
Poor Trouble. He's just like, whatever. He just sits there. So
we'll just sit here, let minions kill themselves.
We got Diamond coming in. He's going to land some damage here on top of Soma, but you're not going to kill an Uther. Not like that. So I'm going to take a quick look here. Mid, Toejam and Earl. A little bit of damage there. Glorung does have to actually blink out of it, though. Is that that's Master Skin Zeratul there, I believe.
It is the Master Skin Zeratul.
Yeah, that's a pretty hot skin, that one. Nightmare's not going to win against ZPs. I really don't think he's going to win.
No, it's really, really difficult to win against an Arthas that knows what he's doing. In particular because he has so much sustain, especially at level 7. Once he hits level 7, it's just there's not much he can do. I also think that Nightmare's probably a little bit intimidated by that Glaurung play.
Yep, a little bit. Ooh, look at this, actually. Glaurung and Abathur, they're going to go into this back line. Toejam and Earl kind of figured it out. Maybe they saw the shimmer through the watchtower, but Toejam's going to continue on here with Glaurung. We do got the Tyrael coming up here as well. They're just kind of playing Ring Around the Rosie right now. Oh, that's actually... Ooh, right into the towers.
I don't think he's going to get it. Yeah, he's not going to get it.
Well played, Falstad, yeah. That did not work out for Glorious.
No, it did not. That's a little greedy going for their Giants that early, to be honest.
It was a little greedy, but he also didn't take the watchtower. I mean, granted, if he took the watchtower, he would have given it away. But at the same time, he had to walk through it. Maybe they just had eyes on it, and they knew. Now I'm looking at this gank up top. Toejam and Earl being a big wall up against CPs here. Nightmare, basically got that entire overkill off. You can see that's the Rhaegar Farsight. I'm guaranteed the Rhaegar Farsight right there. Keeping good control over Glaurung here. First tribute actually might go the way of Tempest.
Honestly, this is kind of what you've been seeing most. Like, the NA meta has kind of shifted, for Curse Hollow at least, to basically hold off on tribute. Especially like if you're a team like Glorious, you hold off on tribute, gain more experience, make sure at 2 or 3 tribs, you can actually go in and just get 3 straight in a row and not really have to worry about them getting another one.
But at the same time, look at this. They keep going in, they keep poking and getting out. What's going on bottom lane? Falstad is not winning that. I mean, the longer that this tribute takes, Glorious Gaming is getting more and more of an advantage. They now have the experience lead. It is now, going more and more toward their favor. Both the supports are down here in the mid, just kind of still dueling it out. And Tempest is, I think, actually going to be a bit more on the back foot here.
Yeah, this is exactly what you do during these types of games, though. You just take advantages where you can, especially with bottom. Like, Falstad is not going to be able to take on an Abathur and a Vala.
Nope.
At all. Like, they have 3 lanes of experience still going. Each team does. I mean, it looks like Tempest is a little bit ahead in experience. or they're pretty even actually. But the fact that they're doing so much damage to the like walls and everything down here, like they are winning this battle over the first tribute.
Yeah, if you look, yeah, sorry, if you look at the mid though as well, I mean, even the ammo counts in the middle is going the way of ZPs. So they might have lost the tribute, but they're gaining it in siege damage.
Yeah, and that's what most of the teams are doing now. If you look at bottom, actually, they're probably going to get this keep pretty early.
Yeah, Falstead left with the bribes to go get the giants, but still, that fort is not looking so hot. Still, we still have continued attempts on the ganks here on top of Soma, but I mean, you're not bringing a damage to the mid, so Soma doesn't care. You can't force him out of it. Like, he is going to continue soaking.
Yeah, it looks like ZP's just took half of Nightmare's health away, too.
Yeah, well, ZP's being Arthas. Arthas is kind of dumb in my eyes, but he's very strong, and that's the reason why Nightmare won't win this, because ZPs can trade and Nightmare can't. Either way, Pelion could be in some trouble, but ToeJam and Earl, they looked for the kill on top of Koth and Luck, and I think Gloron is going to try to turn it around. 4 team members of Tempest now into the bottom lane. They've given up their soak mid, and in fact, I think Tempest is now not going to hit 10 first.
It will definitely be Glorious hitting 10 first. And they just did, and looks like we have Void Prison, Strafe, Divine Storm, and Army of the Dead.
Once again, we're seeing more multi-shot builds out of Vala. I wonder if that's like the new thing now.
It's super strong.
Yeah, so it seems. That's 3 games in a row. But either way, Tribute is up. You can see ToeJam and Earl kind of channeling it out a bit. Level 10s now actually on both sides. Lightning Breath, yeah, Commander Odin. Rhaegar, what are you doing, Rhaegar? Rhaegar? No, it looks like they don't care. They're just going to give up the Tribute. So, but Tribute for Fort. Yeah, that was the trade.
And now they're full level up now. It looks like that mid might be the next to fall unless they somehow get all their ammunition back.
All right, Rhaegar has still not figured out what he wants to go.
We could see a team fight here, just because we do have all ultimates. They do want to go for that golem right about now. That's it. I mean, it's about 7 minutes in, so it's about the time that you want to start thinking about grabbing a first golem.
Yep. Golems and bosses. Well, we do got the knights now, and that should actually put up a little bit of pressure up against Soma. Not exactly the best in terms of clearing out creep wave. You're really good at supporting them, but not really on the clearing side. And it looks like the top lane is actually going to be where the action's at. Syracuse is just kind of down south doing his soak thing. Glorong, however, does get jumped. The shock and awe and the judgment combo. A little bit late, but no, it's not going to be enough. The Void Prison goes out. You saw the lightning breath in the back there from ToeJam and Earl. Didn't really get much done either. ZP's is still going to go down. I think that Void Prison actually was a detriment there in that fight.
Well, they kept their whole team trapped. They weren't able to get out of there, and it looks like Avatar's down, just pushing bottom, doing what Avatars do. Possibly grabbing that trip bottom.
Oh no, if he goes for it, there's a Falstead right there. Yeah, he saw it. All right. Soma will be able to, poke this, perhaps even win because of the squid hat, and well, Glorong's going to come in and finish it off as well. So they will get their first tribute, but they didn't win the fight.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about. Like, most teams now will wait on those first 2 tribs and then go for the next one to make sure that they can't get the third. Because typically, if you're not trying to grab a tribute and you're just trying to harass and you don't die while doing it, you're going to gain an advantage.
So I'm looking at, again, some of the builds. Abathur with the promote. Nobody really didn't see that coming.
No, it looks like ESV Diamond almost died there.
What? Okay, we just had Ancestral Healing, and it went on Nightmare.
Whoops. Whoops, was that a misclick?
I have to assume that was a misclick because, like, the Tyrael was almost dead right there. But it's good to know that he actually has the Ancestral instead of the Bloodlust, so it's not going to be like an all-in Assassin comp. But again, the Lightning Breath, with the Ancestral and the Lightning Breath, like, if you put Diablo right there, I mean, he can't move after doing all those Lightning Breaths, right? It's a channel. So if you take the Ancestral, they're going to start banging on him. You Ancestral him, he gets off the full length of the Lightning, and hopefully, the damage is real. But that last fight, like, the positioning wasn't really what we were looking for in terms of the combo. So we'll have to see if they can improve upon that.
Yeah, and this is the type of thing I was talking about with Abathur. Like, he's got such strong map presence. Like, he's already done so much damage to the bottom lane. Like, their wall is already down.
And the 13 talents here for for Tempest and crew. Relentless, Cast Aside, Rewind, Giant Killer from Tychus, okay, and Healing Surge. A little bit more of an auto attack Tychus, but I mean, it's not. They have some really big targets to hit, so.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely good. ZP in the front line there. Toe Jam and Earl. I mean, they're going to be looking for this positioning. ESV Diamond goes in, though. That's going to be the judgment. The Ancestral actually lands on top of Diamond. And again, Void Prison in the back keeps 4 of Tempest out of the fight. And Diamond is going to live for now. Wow, that's actually a really good heal out of them as well. He will live. Soma actually could be possibly going down. But no, it's going to be Glorin. Jumps in, gets off the cleave, wormholes out. And, you know, there's a death on the table, but the positioning is pretty good here for Tempest. They might actually be able to curse.
Yeah, it looks like they might be able to. But like, ZPs and team... ZPs and crew can't really engage as well as the ESV Tempest, just because like you have Ancestral Healing, you have Shock and Awe, and you have Diablo. They're just like they can't push against them when it's all 5 of them. Like it just doesn't work well. You have Tyrael jump in, like ESV Diamond jumped in, engaged, got wrecked, like almost died instantly. But because of that Ancestral Healing, kept him alive, and they were able to clean up that team fight.
I was just watching Slapeth there in the bottom lane. That was pretty fun. But overall, I mean, yeah, they didn't have the posturing. They didn't have the presence to kind of contest this. And now Curse is going to go down. This is a good spot here for Tempest to actually reclaim quite a bit of experience and perhaps even take the lead. So what do you do when you get cursed like this?
You take other objectives, like Mercs, like exactly what they're doing right now. Or you try to win a team fight and make it so or put enough pressure on the other team so they can't engage, basically. Like, they have to defend.
Yeah, well, they're not. That's 2 forts now. In the
exactly what they're not doing. And Abathur's in a dangerous spot here, too.
He is. Does he know it, though? I don't think that... Does the enemy team know that he's there? No, they don't. They're just going to go for the gate. They're looking for the fort to complete the trifecta, but we got level 16 talents now for Glorious. But Glorious, I mean, they are, I think, going to be posturing to come down and defend. The Curse only has 10 seconds left on it. They do have this talent advantage. They could force a fight, and I think they're going on. ZPs goes in on top of Toe Jam and Earl, but Diamond is in the back. He's going to have to use the sword to just kind of get out of dodge, but it's not going to be enough. He's actually not looking so hot. There's the Ancestral. The Void Prison does come out. Again, 3 team members are going to get caught out here from Tempest. You saw the Shock and Awe go down, but not really a lot of damage. Toe Jam and Earl, they get off that lightning, but it's not enough to even take home a kill. And we had double Arthas in that fight. You see Syracuse here on the Arthas clone.
Yeah, double Arthas is really brutal because of the AoE slow. I mean, he's got 2 Howling Blasts at that point, so it's really, really difficult to get away from that.
And Syracuse is just chasing down Nightmare. I mean, I don't know exactly how much health Nightmare has. Oh, he has full health. So it's not really going to be something that Syracuse can take home to the bank. But, hey, it kept tabs on them. They put up the pressure, and that's going to create some space here for Glowering in the mid.
Well, that's one thing that they really wanted to do. Like, he was just pushing them out of lane so they could ensure that Golem without any chance of a possibility of them trying to gank that Golem capture.
Double bombs here from the Zero Tool. Again, that talent tier was pretty big. Locust Brood, not really surprised. Stone Skin coming out of Arthas, though. So if he wasn't hard enough to kill, he's harder to kill.
Yeah. Stone Skin is one of those talents that you just pick. You like on Arthas in particular, like you just pick it. Unless you're having mana issues, which you shouldn't, you just pick that level 16 no matter what.
No matter what. All right, what do we have on 16 on the flip side? Firestorm, the Earth Grasp. I'm actually a little surprised we don't have any Executioners from Vela. A little surprised there.
Oh, well,
Overdrive, Holy Ground, yeah.
The one thing that they're thinking about is like you have Tyrael jumping into fights, and if he used Blood for Blood on Tyrael, pretty much melts him. So
I'm a little curious. The Nightmare took Stone Skin. A bit more defensive.
Well, you actually look at bottom down here. Like they are pushing that lane super hard.
Well, I mean, I understand Tempest how they didn't want to give up this boss, but they didn't defend against the other one, so they lose the keep, and that is going to be putting us up very close to the 18 mark, which means that we're far ahead into the lead for 20. So Glorious Gaming, you know, they could literally just continue doing what they're doing, you know, in terms of winning out these team fights, pushing out all the lanes, and using the Abathur double soak, hit 20 and just win game. But if they can push down with this boss, maybe they don't even have to wait for 20. Oh, look at that Void Prison. So good.
Excellent Void Prison. And then Shock and Awe was just wasted.
Yep, Shock and Awe was wasted. I mean, we didn't really get anything from Nightmare and that Odin because there's no targets now. And it stopped the contest on the boss. The boss is... Well, I don't know if he's going to take the fort by himself, but you know, either way, it was a good pickup from them. Good money.
Definitely. Like that's one of those things like I was talking about earlier. Like you just keep it out of the opponent's hands. Like you make sure you take it, make sure that they don't get it, because if they can pressure with that, it gives them more of an advantage in the late game, especially considering like that they already lost both keeps up on top of mid lane. So
well, they only keep down. Remember, forts are not keeps there. They only keep down in this bottom one.
I will probably never ever remember
I know.
that,
I know. Just clarifying for the viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tempest is now again very much on the defensive. They will hit 17, and they might actually be able to hit 18 before 20 comes around, but they're still looking at a very big differential if we do hit 20 first here for Glorious. So in my eyes, you got to do something before that 20 hits. So look for a pick, look for a push, try to force a fight. It's still a 2-level difference, but at least you won't have to be dealing with the Storm talents.
Yeah, and it looks like they might actually get 20 here relatively quickly. They've got a 2-level advantage as it is. And they're also, once they hit 20 though, that Abathur ult is going to be up constantly. Like they're going to have double Arthas all the time.
Double Arthas all the time. Arthas knows how to party, man. Imagine having two birthday party. Either way, I mean, yeah, the front line is very, very big here for Glorious, and all those auras, they tick down. That Howling Blast does damage. In fact, let's take a quick look at the damage numbers, and yeah, ZP 17k, number 4 overall.
It looks like they're more than likely going to get cursed here and probably push for an end. They should hit 20 off of this team fight, as long as they can get at least 1 or 2 kills, maybe. Or they could just give up this.
Glorong.
It looks like they're giving it up.
Yeah, Glorong's going to push down top. Get that gate, I guess, out of the way. I mean, it's not a curse, right? I mean, it's 1 of 3. We still have a lot of leeway here, and I guess Glorious Gaming just wants to wait for 20. They want to use that advantage. Like, Tempest wasn't the best spot for them because they are down 2 levels, but it was the best chance at a fight for them. And I think Glorious knew that, so they denied the opportunity.
Yep. And it looks like they should be hitting 20 here any second.
Locust Brood and that catapult. Look at that promoted catapult. So if you don't know what promote does, it's kind of dumb, but 300% health. Triples your health. Triples your health. So this catapult not only does double damage, but has triple health. It can soak an entire lane by itself.
Yeah. Yeah, the promo is like all the general abilities that aren't specific to certain hero, like a specific hero, are kind of broken. Like most people pick those abilities because they just work out so well. Like Stone Skin, Resurgence is one of those. And it looks like we did hit 20 ZPs grabbing Resurgence, Strafe, Penetrating Bolts on Coffin Luck, and Bolt of the Storm on Zeratul with Hurricane on Soma.
Yep, I just actually looked at that as well. And here comes the double Arthas. Arthas with so much health at this point, and he can just spam out his aura all day. I mean, it's damage central. So what do? Do you go for the bottom and Glorong, as you can see here, who actually does have the blink, which again is really fun on the Zeratul, because you blink and then you get bolt, and yeah, you can really do some fun things with it. Or do you defend against top, or do you just let them get your mercs?
Honestly, they should try to get Glorong. Like, that would be their best bet at the moment. Otherwise, like, they're focusing on Arthas that is a clone. They don't get anything out of that.
Well, they deny the clone, but, I mean, at this point, it's a 60-second cooldown, I think.
Like, it's already up. Like, his... Yeah, so, like, there's really no point to be taking out a clone when... or Glorong is sitting there just waiting bottom.
Yeah, it was a nice split. They pushed down top, they pushed down bottom, they used the curse to get the knights, which pushed out the gate, and now this could actually be a death push right here with this boss. We're nowhere near 20 for Tempest. I don't think they're going to hit 20 this game.
They probably won't. I mean, they're probably going to pressure mid a little bit, try to take down that keep, or even top, since top is a little bit more dead. No, they're about the same. I don't know where they're going.
The second
the
boss
other
is
goal.
about to...
Yeah.
So they're going to do that. So yeah, I mean, when you get this kind of map advantage, you force people really to into your will at this point. I mean, like, you take the boss bottom, you're forcing the team to go bottom, which means that you can go top, which is what they're doing.
Yeah. So, like, there isn't really much room for them to do much of anything. I mean, they're all defending bottom right now because it's pushing on its own.
Mhm.
got Golem pushing, so they're just going to take advantage, take this keep, and maybe even push for mid keep too.
I actually expected to see the top boss and then the keep push, but bottom boss is doing work. It got all the way to the core, and it's still taking up a lot of the attention here from Tempest. Top keep down. They're going for the full sweep, I guess.
Looks like they're actually going for the second boss.
See, this is dangerous now, I think, because Glorious is losing that window when we don't have level 20 for Tempest. I mean, they've been using the clones on Arthas. They've been able to push out. You know, Glaring is doing the best he can for the double stuff. You can see here just absolutely annihilates Nightmare's health. But we're giving the chance at 20 here for Tempest. It can't be out of kindness.
No, I think they're just trying to play this slow and steady wins the race type of game. I mean, they haven't, since that first curse, they haven't really been able to do much. Looks like they might actually go for the boss as well. Like, we might see a huge engage here.
Yeah, Storm Shield on treble on the Rhaegar. Other than that, you know, the Resurgences, the Shock and Awe, and the Odin. Not really a surprise. Nothing really out of the ordinary there. But I really expected them to do a death push and win with their level 20 advantage. I'm very curious to see that didn't happen.
Yeah, and this is one thing that is why a lot of those generic talents are an issue, is because things like that catapult, minions couldn't take it out. It could just clear wave after wave with no problem.
And that bottom boss, even going through all 5 of them, still did 20% to the core. I mean, we could have easily finished it. But all right, slow and steady. Syracuse out in the lead there with his clone. Does have 90 seconds cooldown, 60-second duration, which means you have a very small window where it's not up. But at the same time, I think it's just going to be all Arthas's all the time from here on out. Glorang's done an amazing job split pushing and keeping this team split. Tempest has not really been able to 5-man deathball without losing something for a while, and got to give credit to the Zeratul for that.
Yeah, and it looks like the Syracuse Arthas was just causing more and more distractions. That's all he's been doing most of this game. And they're just going around gathering mercs and slowly just whittling them away.
Why?
I don't know. They should just
end. The advantage is clearly there.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, there's no point in procrastinating. It looks like they're going for Curse or the Tribute and then going for Knights. They're just prolonging this game for no reason.
Well, the second the second boss here did 30%. Oh, Glorang's there as well. That's why. Wow. So again, he blinked forward, he blinked forward and then he bolted, got off the damage combo on top of this core, and then was able to wormhole all the way back to the very beginning here. That's some of the fun stuff you can do with a blink wormhole Zeratul. And it's a 45-second cooldown, I believe, for blink. So he might actually just finish this game by himself. Maybe this is a test for Glaurung. Maybe they're just trying out the Zeratul to see how big he can backdoor.
A rite of passage.
Maybe. I mean, do you have any other theories? Because I don't.
Not really. I just kind of think it's kind of messed up that they're not just ending it. They're just pushing this game off. They could have ended probably 15 minutes ago. Oh, not 15 minutes. I always get a league timing just about.
All right, ESV's had enough. They're going to jump right here onto Coffin Luck, who is still alive somehow. You see the Lightning Breath coming out. Lightning Breath goes on over. The heals are so strong on top of the Vala, but Arthas is actually going to be dead. That's leaving us with a kill in ESV's corner, and Vala is going to drop. ESV actually is going to drop as well, but still, a 1-for-1, and he has Resurgence, which means he's going to be coming back into this. We don't have Vala for another 50 seconds.
That was actually a really sloppy engage by Glorious there. I'm not sure what happened.
I think it was ESV really that did the engagement. It was the Judgment in with the Lightning Breath.
Oh, okay.
And they get a second tribute. We might actually have a counter curse coming out.
This is gonna be rough for Glorious, man. I don't know what's going on.
Well, Glorious falls back. I mean, we have nothing else to look at, so let's look at some of the damage numbers here. Shockingly low for a 23-minute game. 40,000 hero damage, and it's going the way of Syracuse.
Well, I honestly think that they're kind of just waiting for Abathur to push to win, basically. Those exploding locusts have been doing so much damage. It dropped the core 13-14% last time they were on it.
Yeah, we had a promoted catapult, we had the broods, and then the double bosses came in. The bosses did 20% by themselves, like those siege golems, which another one is coming right down the fort here. And yeah, so I mean,
I so enjoy.
evidence says that this boss is going to get another 20% off of this core, and then Glaurung could probably just finish it by himself. So we kind of have a little bit of a fuse now on this game. Like, we have a timer on how long this game is going to be lasting.
Yeah, I mean, we could see them push to end here, but it looks like they might just group up the golem because it's really difficult to fight underneath one of those golems.
All right, well, let's see what kind of fight is going to be happening here. Syracuse goes in with that clone, but it just gets melted down. Same here with Diamond. Diamond Judgment's right there on top of Glaurung. They're looking for that lightning breath, doing so much work with that shock and awe as well, but not going to be a kill. All those damage numbers are going to be for naught because finally ZP is included with that Hurricane, Cotton Luck, and everything. That was a great Void Prison as well. They finally YOLO the core, but 25-minute win. Some really strange decisions, we think, being made on, but hey,
Yeah.
They won, and that's what counts.
Slow and steady, but I don't know if that was slow and steady as much as we just want to control the map because you can't.
They waited for like 3 extra bosses. We think they could have just easily ended the game there, but yeah, as I said, the fuse was there, the timer was there. With that boss, it was, you know, do or die time, and had Tempest actually somehow miraculously defended out of that, I think they could have literally just pushed straight down middle and won. But
Definitely, like that fight where they actually separated, like they had the whole team separated and they got Vala. They could have taken advantage of that and possibly pushed a keep down, but they didn't. They just had it was pressure from all sides. Like they couldn't get out of their base. Abathur was pushing on bottom consistently with the Abathur locusts, and whenever that they couldn't leave lane. Glaurung and Abathur were just doing too much pressure.
yeah, the splits were definitely there. So, yeah, as I said, slow and steady, they got the win. Game number 2 going to be coming your way in just a few moments here, guys. But first, of course, a few words from our sponsors. But Glorious and Tempest that's the intro, will return in just a moment. And as a reminder, Ken, we, I believe, still have a BlizzCon lanyard to give away tonight. So we've given away the novel. We've talked to Jesse Cox, and we're going to be giving away BlizzCon lanyards. So 4 chances to win each week. Hit up the Twitter, the Facebook, the YouTube, and the Twitch. Nexus Champ in the various forms there, and you might go home with a BlizzCon lanyard. So who knows, man? Could be your day. Otherwise, we're going to have a quick break, and when we return, Game 2. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the HPL's Season 1. Oh, God, I added a Season 1. Season 1, Week 6, Day 1, NA, Glorious and Tempest. A little bit of a long, drawn-out game there from Glorious, but very secure in their win. They were able to take it in pretty much convincing fashion. Did take a little bit on the clock, though, and hey, a win's a win, and the game number 2 is going to be Dragonshire.
Yep. We could probably see the same type of team. They tend to like Glarung, Glarung Zeratul is just so good. Like, he just put pressure on all lanes when they weren't there. Abathur constantly poking at him too. Just one of those things. There wasn't much that Tempest could do about it. They're constantly in their base being pushed around, not able to defend much at all.
Yeah, when you have the best defense being a great offense, and your enemies can't leave the base, like the map is yours. It's your playground. I mean, we've seen this in MOBAs before, in brawlers before. Heroes of Newer, League of Legends, Dota. If you can't leave base, it's a very dire situation.
Yeah, like you have to win a team fight and then go take an objective right away and not hesitate at all.
Exactly right.
So,
someone's calling me a street mime in chat, and that's fun. Don't you know I'm a jester? I juggle for a living. I put down a hat and people will give me money. And I just made up the whole thing about Heroes Fire. Yeah, totally. So, we're just waiting for the draft to start. And, if you guys don't know, this is our third game set of the night, which means we still have one more. I'll give you a bit of a quick preview here. The last one is going to be Clairvoyant and Symbiote. That's going to be right after this game series here of Glorious and Tempest. But Glorious, definitely very secure in their number 2 slot here in HPL. They haven't lost a game yet. In fact, they're only second, and I'm not even sure second's really the right word for it, but, SMG haven't lost. Glorious haven't lost, but I think the seeding has actually put Glorious at number 2.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see.
No, I mean, if I know for sure SMG's number 1.
Next, or... God, my mind is just like not thinking right today. SMG is definitely number 1. I mean, have they lost a tournament yet at all?
No, I do not believe they have.
I think they are undefeated overall. Like, they have not lost a single tournament. Like, they may have lost 1 or 2 games, but they have not lost a series since they started with their at the beginning of the season. Like, they just haven't lost anything.
No, they haven't, and they are the team to beat. They went into the Asia tournament that came out. They've won every Kings of the Storm. I believe they won the first Kings of the Storm by Sea of Steve way back in the very beginning of things. And I want to say, are in the top teams of ESV. They're definitely a top team here in HPL. I mean, they have a lot riding on it right now. So They are the team to beat. They are the team to aim for. Glorious, however, I mean, in this, they haven't lost. They are seeded number 2, but they're technically tied for 15 points each.
Let's see. And we're still waiting on the draft here. But yeah, I honestly, I could see SMG pulling through and winning the whole thing, but it just depends on how everyone progresses. Like, SMG has just been ahead of the curve this entire time. And I think people are starting to finally catch up. Mm-hmm. Most of the teams, at least. So,
I mean, Symbiote was the team that came out with that ridiculous cheese strat. Remember that? God.
Yes. Yeah.
Kavataki is just like level 10. Where the hell did they go?
Against Vex.
Yeah, that was. I've seen that now in solo queue. People have brought that to bear, and I've lost to it. I've played against it. I've won with it.
And it looks like we actually have the draft going underway now.
Awesome. Let's bring that up. Glorious Gaming and Tempest here, guys. Game 2. Glorious right now in the lead. I thought I saw a Tacitar there for a moment, but I guess not.
The Tacitar ban. On Dragonshire, yeah, I can see that.
Well, I saw it, and then it's gone. So I don't know if that's actually the ban or not.
I'm kind of hoping it didn't break.
Well, we'll find out. But still, yeah, it is going to be Dragonshire. And again, Glorious up 1-0. So on a Dragonshire, a smaller map, especially with that bottom lane dominance, I'd expect to see Brightwing. I'd expect to see Falstead. I'd expect to see, some of the frontliners actually banned out, like Stitches. Or who else is really good at Dragonshire? don't know. Like, you could really go any way here. I mean, Tychus is a typical
Oh.
ban. Stitch is a bit more situational. Last time we saw a Nova ban, though.
Which was interesting. Like Noah's been seeing a lot more play recently, so there's potential. Especially on a small map where she can roam quite easily. So a Tassadar ban and a Nova pickup could see something like that.
Yeah, we could. I'm really hoping that this ban thing didn't break. Looking at it.
It is alpha.
Alpha is alpha. So.
It did break.
Did it?
I think. Well, at least let's see. Let's see if the other team can do it.
Balls.
It did bug out. Yeah.
All right. Chat ban it is? Or you make it? Thing bugged. All right, we'll talk to the admins. We'll get that going. I'll actually leave that to you.
Yeah.
See if we actually get another one or not. Okay, so they are aware of it. They're on top of it. So we will get this draft out there. What did we see earlier on Dragonshire?
It was a blur.
We didn't really see anything super surprising though. Like they're all kind of like normal picks. We had double specialist on Garden of Terror, and then we just had the Zeratul Abathur on Cursed Hollow. Everything else has been pretty standard today. Oh, the ETC didn't work.
Yeah, the ETC didn't work for Clairvoyant there. I think we saw Nubarak on Dragonshire earlier, and I know we saw Arthas.
Oh, we saw like Arthas every game. If he's not banned, he's picked. Like, that's a given at this point. Was it Icy Hots that won the first one? Okay, I stand.
I believe so. Yes.
Was on. I remember best team NA was like Team Korea. It was like Nick and Loco Doco and IMLS, and they didn't even get past first stage. I remember that.
No, I
big at the time.
Pretty sure that I played against them.
Pandasaurus was still playing at that point. I don't think he plays anymore now.
Yeah, I think that
2ARC, the Sea of Steve team, that was there. Although he's not part of that anymore.
I can't remember. It's been so long. It's been like 6 months, man.
Well, remember, we had like custom for a little bit, and then they disabled them, and we just finally got them back again. That's why we see this big explosion of tournaments. Like, if you look at Reddit, I mean, Sea of Steve is the Reddit guy. I mean, he keeps very good care of Reddit at this point. So you can always see the esports, the meta, the trash talk, all that fun stuff. So many tournaments coming out. Like, the EU side is starting to explode. ESL is getting their stuff off. The AAA tournament's coming out now as well. Asia's already had a tournament. They just got the client in October. Like, they wasted no time on that. It's good to see here in the alpha, like fostering out their own scene. It's great.
Well, one thing is that it's like for us teams, like it's been brutal the schedules. We've pretty much been consistently like practicing, playing games. Like I've been doing 6-7 days a week just doing hero stuff, and on top of that working regular time and things like that. It's getting insane at how much has been coming in the scene and how quickly it's been growing.
It is. I mean, we had another wave of invites this week. Congratulations to anybody just tuning in, and it's in this week. You could have, I don't know what you just did.
Right. I had an itch, man. I had to itch it.
with paper and a napkin.
Yes.
But if you are just watching, and you did get in this week, there's very few better resources, I think, in terms of studying, picks and bans and comps and maps and seeing
it's fixed.
These guys up.
It's fixed.
Is the same one fixed, or am I getting?
Yes, same one.
All right, same
one.
Looks
like a Zeratul ban.
Cool, great. So let's jump back into this. But once again, if you did just get in, congratulations, welcome to the crew, all that fun stuff. So Glorious does ban out the Tassadar. The response from Zeratul.
The respect ban. That was a respect ban.
That was 100% a respect ban, for sure. And then Tychus, not a surprise. But with Tassadar and Zeratul out, look at that. Nova. I would not be surprised to see an Abathur on the docket here for Tempest.
Maybe, unless Glorious decides to pick up Rhaegar Abathur.
But with the Nova there, well, yeah, with the Rhaegar, that would... You're right. Yeah, the Rhaegar would actually maybe deter the Nova a little bit, because with that Farsight, you can really keep... I mean, the Farsight lasts 10 seconds with a cooldown of 30. So 1/3 of the time, if you place it right, you're going to find Nova, which is going to suck for Nova because, I've been there. Sucks 100%. Either way, Tyrael Nova, and then Arthas Uther. The Nemesis from Warcraft 3 put back together again.
Seems like that's a common pick, Uther and Arthas.
It's a
You
lot
see
of
that a
control.
lot.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
lot of
you see it
control.
a lot.
Double stuns, a root, and a permanent slow, essentially. Plus, the healing. Like, in my eyes, Uther should not be able to heal undead. That's just me, though.
Yeah, this is true.
Just
So-
me. It's all good. It's like back when Dota came out with all pick. It's like, wait, I can have Radiant and Dire on the same team? Oh my god. Yeah, same idea here. They should never be together. Falstead coming out, and again, big emphasis on the Dragonshire for the bottom lane for those bribes. So wouldn't be surprised to see a Brightwing to pair with that for the double. And they need a healer anyways. If it's not going to be a Brightwing, probably Rhaegar, because they already have the double assassin.
Yeah, on Uberak. That's pretty early. Well, the thing is that Glorious already has a support, so they're probably not going to pick a second one. I mean, if they did pick a Brightwing, they could really force. They would force Tempest into doing either Malfurion or a Rhaegar. But we haven't seen any Malfurion, which I'm kind of curious about. Is like Malfurion is super good. People don't understand how good he is in team fights.
With the Tranquility or with the Silence or with
Either.
Yeah?
Either. Like the silence completely changes team fights. And you see a Chen and a Zagara pick from Glorious here.
Yeah, the Zagara I like because she's not an assassin, but she can really put out numbers. I mean, those Baneling rolls, when you set it up, especially with the control we have here, we got the Chen for the roots, we got the Arthas for the roots, and we got the stun combo coming out with the Uther. You can really get some big, big Maws, and you can get some big, big Banelings out of that as well.
Yeah. Especially in like mid-team fight. Like you're going to have Falstad sitting in the back. If a Zagara walks up and just Maws, there's nothing they can do. Their Falstad is either going to get erased or he's just going to be like not even able to fight at all.
Yeah, so last pickup here again, you need a healer. I'm really expecting a Brightwing, but now looking at their comp, maybe not. Like, you're going to need somebody a bit more, I want to say Healy, but no, they're going to go with it. They want that double bribe.
Yeah, and I think that some teams might get stuck on that occasionally. Like they're like, oh, we can get double bribe. Like it's good, but you have to really look at the composition and look at like how you can combat their team. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of lockdown on their team. They have Zagara, Uther, Arthas, and Chen. Yep. There isn't much that the other team they're both engagement teams. Like both teams have solid engagements. Like they have Tyrael who dives, and they have a Nubrak who dives. I can't see this going too well for Tempest just because of the team composition, but I've been proven wrong before, like with the double specialist. So,
no, for sure. All right, so we'll have to see what the bribe combos can accomplish here, but a little bit. I want to say that the damage is a little bit more in favor of Tempest because they got the Nova who can just absolutely delete people, but at the same time, she has nobody really here to delete. I mean, Tychus, if she's lucky.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be rough. I mean, Tychus is gonna have the double health full, so even if she does get it off, she's only gonna be able to snipe half of it.
Yeah, and it looks like players are hopefully ready to go. If you want to just give them a quick message there, we'll get this one rolling. Look for big combos here from Glorious Gaming and crew, but look for the Merc control coming out from Tempest as we're gonna be jumping here into game number 2, guys. HPL Week 6 NA Day 1 Game 2. Fun stuff. And yeah, Dragonshire, here we go.
See what these teams got.
Bam. Maybe I actually transitioned a little bit early there. But in terms of like the teams, Dragonshire, it's kind of about controlling the shrines, but at the same time, if you can just keep one of them and build up an advantage and then grab a later shrine and the Dragon Knight, early Dragon Knight's not exactly going to be game ending.
No, the most you can do with like a pre-10 Dragon Knight is actually just going for walls and towers. It's the most you can do typically, unless like their team is not doing anything about it. Then he can get a fort, but that is it. Like you can't do much else.
And the teams are on the right sides. Yay!
Oh. So we're gonna have Glorious over here on the blue side again. Soma on Uther, Syracuse on Zagara, Cottonluck on Tychus, ZPs on Arthas once again, and Glaurung on Chen. Over here on the right-hand side, we have the red team. We have ESV Tempest. Treble on Brightwing. Nova is Nightmare. ESV Diamond on Tyrael once again. Toe Jammerl on Anubarak, and Paleon on Falstad.
So once again, typical things. You're going to be putting the bribers in lanes. They're not really going to be roaming. Neither of them have mounts anyways. So you don't want them roaming regardless. The flight is good for a quick burst gank, but at the point putting Palion in the mid with the Falstad allows him to fly kind of top or bottom wherever he's needed. It's a good stime. And Diamond in the bottom with the Tyrael, again, very solid laners. Now the flip side, Glorong is on Chen. Good luck with that one, Brightwing. And ZP's, once again, is not going to be a bit more of a roaming Arthas. He's going to be locking down the mid.
Yeah, and it's another thing like we've seen before. We've seen the Chen Brightwing top so many times. Like, it seems like every game Chen is top, but Brightwing follows Chen.
Yep, he does. And, I mean, I really don't expect to see a kill in that top lane. And neither team really looking to set up any kind of roams because, again, very heavy emphasis on the bottom lane. Zagara is going to shine absolutely right here, I think, with those Banelings.
And with the lane pushing and the AoE damage, yeah, there's not much that they can do at this point.
Take a quick look at the other lanes. Palion actually pushing in up against ZP's. Now, ZP's not exactly hurt, but a little surprised to see him actually pushing in as far as he is. And now, the big question is he going to fly in order to secure a shrine, or is he actually just going to soak?
Probably just soak. It's looking like he's just going to soak. I mean, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to... Like, Tempest is not going to be able to cap any of these shrines. They have too much pressure on both sides.
Yeah, and their healer's top, whereas the Uther is actually bottom. So Uther with the control, with the heals, they have the sustain, whereas we only have kind of shielding mechanics to sustain Tempest in this bottom lane. So with the shrines both going the way of blue, I mean, Palion has his work cut out for him.
Yeah, in all honesty, like, one of the things that shrines do is it forces the other team to, like, constantly try to get it. Like, they're like, if both shrines are blue,
toe jam.
It looks like Diamond is getting pretty low there too. But like I was saying, like, when you see both shrines the same color, the team tends to try to just take it. They try to keep it so they don't have to worry about that mid being taken.
Yep.
And it's a trap. Like, there's no reason to keep trying to go for that shrine when the other team has a stronger teamfight capability.
Now, Soma's going to go for it here, and ZP is just going to chase off the Griffin. And that's basically it. I mean, there's nothing else you can do. After you throw out that one hammer with Falstad, it's do or die time. And I'd rather you retreat and lose it rather than die. Now, of course, the bottom lane pressure here from Tempest will keep Syracuse and Coffin Luck from really doing too much. And, look at this. The Dragon Knight is actually going to come straight bottom.
Yeah, and it's because the walls are out of ammunition already. And Zagara pushing really did it for him.
Again, like, the Zagara lane push is pretty good. We've seen her quite a few times here in the NA meta. I don't really see her too much in EU, I want to say. She's more like Illidan out there.
Yeah, that's very true. But like I said earlier, like, before 10 minutes, you really can only push towers and walls. It's the only thing you really want to do with Dragon Knight. He just goes down so quick and he doesn't do enough damage at first.
Yeah, and you can see both teams. I mean, they didn't really collapse. They didn't go for any kind of big death pushes. They soaked and they kept their experience leads. And, the big thing here for Glorious Gaming and crew is that they got 2 gates down, basically.
Yeah, and that's what you need to do with the first Dragon Knight. Like, if you can push it out, I mean, that's okay too. But if you can grab it and push down a couple walls, it works out really well because you can consistently pressure a lane. And it looks like top two, like, they're having a lot of, like, they're just getting pushed back to their walls pretty consistently. They're not able to keep ammunition in the towers to do enough damage to help the team fights and such.
Yeah, the only way I would see trouble actually clearing Glorong in that top is if he kind of like jumped a little bit too far and landed into the tower range and you get a polymorph off. Like, that's really the only way I see that happening. But Glorong's too smart for that. He's not going to fall. And, who can beat a Chen in a lane?
Uther.
Really?
Yeah, Uther just smashes on Chen in lane.
Wouldn't have expected that. Speaking of Uther, though, got the stun hour on top of the false head. ZP's now actually goes in a little bit as well. I don't think he's going to get out of that one, but still, Uther heal is going to be very strong. A self-heal coming in. Diamond with the body block will take home the kill, though. A little bit too greedy as both teams were posturing for these bottom. And I think ZP's kind of saw the initiation from Soma and said, all right, yeah, we can do that. And, well, he didn't, so...
Yeah, and then if we look up here top now, we actually have that wall pretty much completely gone. Glamour was just doing an excellent job pushing Treble out of lane.
And again, like, how do you beat a Chen? And apparently the idea is Uther. Unfortunately, they picked Uther. So, yeah, you just kind of got to, like, know that you're going to be suffering in those other lanes.
Yeah, it looks like Luck is actually getting taken down pretty easily here.
Yeah,
He almost
aid.
died.
Yeah, first aid, man. Right there. 100%. Like, I'm going to hit talents, and bam, first aid. Good stuff, man.
To give you an idea, like, why Uther counters Chen is his chug times out right when Uther's stun comes out. So, like, it's just he can't chug at all during the entire duration.
Yeah, but you trade out mana for the stun. So, Cawthon Luck does not have that first aid ready to go this time. Does actually get out a shield, though, from Soma, so he's going to be all right. The Nova Burst is extremely real. Diamond's actually going to be top this time with Shovel, so they will secure top. And they have bottom for now, but Helion's not going to be able to become that Dragon Knight as they lose out bottom.
And both teams do have heroics now. So we actually have Precision Strike, of course, on Nova. Blink Kill, surprisingly, on Treble. And we have Shakana, Judgment, and then Locust Swarm. So,
yeah, Locust Swarm, like, does anybody use Web Shot ever?
It has its, like, you can Web Shot a Witch Doctor out of his ultimate pretty easily if you can get vision on him, but
too.
yeah, like, it just depends. Like his Web Shot isn't as great as his Locust Swarm, especially in like a huge team engagement.
Yeah, you want that sustain, especially like if you throw strike into the back line. Speaking of the back line, you know, nobody really going to be into the back line here of ESV. In fact, it's just going to be Tempest losing out their Tyrael very quickly there. So, yeah, a little bit of a misplay or maybe a miscommunication, but both shrines, again, going the way of ZPs and crew, and you can see the defense being mounted here in the mid from Tempest.
Yeah, and they're actually going to do like Chen is pushing really, really hard top still. Like, he hasn't moved from that position at all. He's just been top the entire game, harassing and pushing them out of the lane.
There goes the one hammer. I guess we had Treble with his Q. Yep, that's going to be enough to stop that. Toe Jam Mineral in the top, trying to get that shrine, but does not work. Chen's all over it, and we kind of ran out of distractionary things here from Tempest. So Syracuse is going to be on that Dragon Knight, and Toe Jam Mineral is actually almost about to get soloed out here by Glorong.
Yeah, that's the power of Chen. Like, it's very, very difficult to stop Chen. He still has his ultimate up, too, so there's really no point in trying to engage on him and trying to take him out.
Yeah, but look at that. 3 team members of Tempest now have to stream from top to mid, who is now, again, lost out that gate really early. It's lost the fountain. It's about to lose the fort as well.
And this is going to give them 13, most likely. I mean, they're going to be a talent point up now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Glorious right now, they've had a very solid early game. They've gotten that fort. Diamond's down here. Who's he looking for a judgment? Wow, he actually gets kicked almost into the base. That could have been really rough for him. But Syracuse still has this dragon for another 10 seconds. And wow, there goes Diamond yet again. Shock and Awe comes out. Doesn't really look like it did the big damage that it needed to. The Precision Strike still does not bring Syracuse out of it. ZP's there in the back, self-healing, getting off all that control. Glaurung now is going to become a panda. And Toe Jam and Roll, he's going to... That Maw! That Maw was so money right there.
That Maw grabbed 3 people and held them in.
Yep, 3 down. My goodness. Like we're playing baseball.
That was pretty brutal. I mean, like, they had a solid engagement there. And if you pay attention to, like, the talents right now, they grabbed 3 of them grabbed Relentless, and then 2 of them grabbed Spell Shield.
Wow.
So, like, they are just going, like, yeah, like, they're gonna go ham. Like,
They won't die.
Yeah, Zagara and Uther aren't gonna die from any Shock and Awe. They're not gonna die from any, like, the big ultimates. Like, even Tyrael's stun, like, his charge in isn't gonna do anything because it's not gonna stun anyone. Anubrak's line stuns isn't going to do anything. His burrow isn't going to do anything now.
Now, something else also to notice is that, again, we have first aid on the Tychus. We have rapid incubation on Zagara, which is essentially the same kind of idea. 25% health and mana, which makes her a laning monster. It's like going up against Nazebo because he just regenerates every kill. This is on demand every 60 seconds. She can do that. It's pretty tough to deal with. And at the same time, Rune Tap and Cleanse. It's just like, this is Team Never Die.
Yeah, and now we have 4 Giants pushing, so they're just defending the Giants at this point. making it so that they do all the damage. They don't have to worry about a thing.
Now, but Diamond is going to go in. Cotton Luck does not quite get caught because, again, we got that spell shield. We got those relentless. The stun combos are not going to be that effective here for Tempest. And now Toe Jam and Earl in the back is still actually alive thanks to his ult for that, the Locust. Pelion still gets out. No, he doesn't. Okay, he's just going to drop. Toe Jam and Earl is finally going to drop as well. Nightmare, and again, the Maw brings the rest of the team into the danger zone. Treble's going to drop, and now Diamond, skin of his teeth. Glorung don't care. He's going to go right in. Now he's
Typical
kind of
Chens, man.
Yeah, now he's stuck on the other side. That could be a kill, but there's nothing to stop him from chugging here. And where's Uther? Oh, Uther's dead. All right, so Glorung still, skin of his teeth.
Those 4 giants are still alive, and now they can go grab shrines and get another Dragon Knight. This is not looking good for Tempest.
Incremental advantages is the name of the game. Is Pelion going to fly down and try to kill Glorung? Because that is not going to work. Glorung knows full well that he's in the danger zone. Gets out. Uther's going to go top, and Syracuse could become this Dragon Knight once more.
Depends on what Falstad decides to do. I mean, they could either defend and like try to keep them from getting Dragon Knight, or they can actually go grab a shrine.
Ooh, so close.
That was close.
Yeah. Syracuse. Diamond goes in. Judgment on top of the Syracuse. They're not going to have to deal with them all because Agara's down to the Precision Strike combo. Glorung shouldn't actually have those pandas ready to go. Soma with the Divine Storm, however, brings Toe Jam and Earl real low. I don't quite think that's going to be a kill on him, but ZP is going to be extremely low here as well. In fact, the only kill on both sides is going to be that Zagara, and unfortunately, nothing happened with the shrine, so it's still going to go the way of Glorious.
And this is going to be the 3rd Dragon Knight in 12 minutes?
Yeah, sounds right.
In favor of Glorious.
Yep. No, they've held map control. They're level 16. They got the talent advantage. And again, team never died. Double stone skins.
Jeez, man.
Yeah.
It's brutal. And now, like, the Dragon Knight's getting to that point where it's just so difficult to kill. Like, there's not much you can do about it now.
Oh, they're going to try. I mean, they come in here. They're looking for the kill on top of Cotton Luck. He hits out the first aid. He had this shield there from Soma, and they just turn it right back around. Diamond is not looking so good because he's getting body blocked. Toe Jam and Earl is now going to be trying to take the forefront of it. Cotton Luck just sitting there. That's a great shock and awe, but I don't think it's going to be enough to kill out ZPs. Oh, the Precision Strike is just a little bit too far off. There's the Judgment, though. Syracuse has no escape. She's going to go down, not before that Maw. A nice 2-person Maw. ZPs goes in, but unfortunately a little bit of bad timing from him. Doesn't matter. Left Soma to do the cleanup crew. And now I don't know if Glorious is going to get out of this one unscathed, and they don't. You see the double ghosts, and now Toe Jam and Earl still has to deal with Glaurung, who was that Dragon Knight this entire time. I don't expect Trouble to get out of this.
No, it doesn't look good for him. I mean, Chen is just like so hard to get away from, especially. I don't know if you. Yeah. No.
One more.
Nope.
Oh,
got
nice
away.
blink steal. The blinks, phase, the heal blink, whatever. Something.
The blink thing.
It was good. All right, there's the level 16 talents for both teams as well, but a little bit like, how did that go wrong for Glorious? Dragon Knight? They didn't have
Dragon did not help them really. Like, he just stood and took the keep, and he pushed Nova out of the fight. He didn't really help control anything else. But that's like what I was saying earlier, is like you can lose a team fight as long as you take objectives. And that very first game where Vex didn't take down the keep, that could have potentially helped them quite a bit. Glorious did not take the keep, so that they made sure that they had an advantage even if they lost that team fight. So now they don't really have to worry so much about bottom lane being an issue. Like, they have both their fort and their keep up still, and they have it self-pushing now.
Well, in terms of that push, yeah, as you said, Catapult's going to be there in the bottom, but we still got a lot of focus here. 4-2 for the split on the Giants in the bottom lane, and now Knights are going to be coming the way of Glorious as well. Shrines will probably start popping in the next 30 seconds with their 30... Oh, there it is. In the next 30 seconds, and 18-17, Glorious. Now, what we saw last game is the slow and steady win. I mean, I think they ended the game around 24, 25. But again, they are on the path to hit 21st, which means that they're going to have that big advantage when it comes to a team fight. And this fort will put them to 19, which means we should see it fairly soon. Either way, Judgment goes in. Cotton Luck, there's no follow-up. He Odin's immediately. CP's there down into the back. Glorung there trying to do the body block and the Precision Strike. Doesn't really land. Zagara is now going to be toast. But still, Falstead down, Nova down. Treble's about to join him there as well. The blink kill's not going to be enough. Diamond and ToeJam now have to deal against these 2 tanks and the healer, plus Koth and Luck. You know, that infested Odin doing work. And of course, infested Tychus comes out of an infested Odin. Either way, 5 for 1 trade, and that puts us almost at 20.
And now their entire team is down for 25 seconds. I mean, Glorious at this point could either take shrines or just push mid or push bottom out.
They're
And it looks like they're going for bottom.
They're going straight for the win. Like, they got Knight. Well, they have 1 Knight pushing top, so that's not really a thing. Glorian's just going to tank it all, though. I mean, this is fun things you can do with Chen is tank everything. This could be the death push right here. 6 seconds till Falstead. I don't think we have any ults up. We got blink heal. That doesn't count. No ults here. Tempest, and that's game.
That is definitely game, and like they didn't really leave any room for the other team to do anything. I don't think. Like, they lost that 1 team fight, but they took the keep, and that keep, like I said, like taking something like that enables it so you can do things like that. You can wipe it, like clear a team fight, run in, and end it. Almost, it was 15 seconds, and they ran in and ended it just because of split second decision making. They were able to close it out that quickly.
It almost felt, what is it? You got SMG'd? They just circumvent everything else and just go for the push?
Yeah.
Very strong stuff coming out of ZP and crew. And Glorious, again, maintain their first place tie. But actually, I shouldn't even say that, because SMG is now technically second because we have 1 more win here for ZP and crew. They have a game coming up, and if they lose it, they will actually go down to second. So... but either way, I mean, Glorious still remains undefeated. That's a better way to say that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll see. I don't think they'll lose, but I mean, it would be like a total upset if they lost the game.
If SMG lost, you mean?
Yes. I think people just sit there dumbfounded, like, what just happened?
Well, speaking of, you know, Clairvoyant and Symbiote are going to be our next match. And this one is actually done by replay. So we're going to have to do a little bit of timing on that one. Don't be that afraid here, guys, you know, because it's just, you know, a little bit of timing. Hopefully we stay in sync. Alpha is alpha after all. But Clairvoyant will take on Symbiote Gaming for our last game series of the night, which means that we're almost to a close. It's been a little over 4.5 hours now. So yeah, we're looking at closing out around 5.5, 6 hours. Not bad. A good day of heroes. Great Saturday spent, sir.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Sure, man.
So, word from our sponsors, and we'll be back with our last game series again at SMG. Don't go anywhere.
Heroes Premier League, to one of the greatest teams from across the globe. We didn't wait for Blizzard to give us the tools. We didn't wait for a scene to be fed to us on a silver spoon. People looked at this and said it was not possible. They tried telling us teams would never play for glory alone. Vince Lombardi once said that any man's finest hour, the greatest fulfillment of all that he holds dear, is that moment when he has worked his heart out and lies exhausted on the field of battle, victorious.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back here to the HPL Week 6 NA Day 1 Game Set number 4 Clairvoyant Gaming Symbiote Gaming Best of 3. Yeah, good. Yeah, it's been 6 hours and I'm not quite out of the bag yet. Portico Jester here with the D-Day and Mr. D-Day. It's been a heck of a ride today. We've seen some pretty crazy things, and our last game series, Clairvoyant and Symbiote, we've talked about this. Symbiote right now, #1 in the league.
And I don't think we'll see much different. I mean, like, they just have such solid play. And the fact that Clairvoyant just went through a roster switch, I mean, it's going to be rough. Like, I don't know how they play as much as I did before. So it's going to be a little bit difficult for them to push through and actually see if they can take a game off of SMG, who hasn't really lost many.
They haven't lost any. It's
well,
not
I mean, like,
many. They haven't lost any.
well, I mean, like, in a series, they haven't lost any series, but I know that they've probably lost at least one game, maybe, at some point.
Not in HPL.
Yeah, not in HPL, but in general is what I'm saying.
I believe Kings of the Storm Weekly 2, which was last weekend, I believe they lost one game. I want to say against Wildfire. I want to say Wildfire put it up. Maybe it was 2 arc. It was one of
I think it was 2 arc. I believe it was 2 arc.
Yeah, they definitely lost a game. They didn't lose the series, but they definitely lost a game. But here they are absolutely undefeated. Cannot say the same for Clairvoyant. Actually, no, because they've already lost now.
They just lost a game.
Yeah, so it's actually 4-1-0 for the record there for Clairvoyant. We're going to have to see what that's going to become here with Symbiote. So we do have the captains ready to go, I believe, for the draft. And again, these games are, unfortunately, by replay, couldn't actually get them here for everything else. You know, there's a lot of heroes going on these days. It's kind of hard to time manage. So we do have the draft, and we do have the game. So without further ado, let's get into draft for Game 1, Clairvoyant and Symbi. What is that?
What is what?
Oh, I know what that is. No, I don't.
Oh,
Why did my draft not work? My
draft is working now.
No, my draft didn't work. I think draft is fine. Mine isn't.
Oh, that's not good.
Let me fix that. Yeah, that was a Dropbox link. That's why.
Whoops.
Yay, draft. I'm so sorry about that.
Looks like we got a Tychus ban from Clairvoyant first off. So and it looks
what's
like
the map?